This is the second album by Pearls Before Swine called Balaklava. It has this nice painting of the Triumph of Death by Bruegel the Elder. And this is only a part of the painting, and it's apparently hanging in a church somewhere. So people go to church every Sunday and get to see this. Can you imagine that? I think the church is in Spain. Anyway, let's go into some of the tracks that are on here. Well, first, let's talk about who's in the band. So, Tom Rapp plays guitar, does vocals and breathing. Jim Bohannon does organ, piano, clavinet, and marimba. Wayne Harley is banjo and harmony. Lane Lederer, bass guitar and swine horn. And I have some guest artists listed. Joe Farrell plays flute and English horn. Lee Crabtree for piano, organ, and flute. Bill Salter on bass. Al Stackman on guitar. Warren Smith does string arrangements and percussion. And Sewell Clark does string arrangements. So it starts off with an 1890 recording of Martin Lamprey, a bugler from the Charge of Light Brigade. And was originally recorded on Silver Thing, and they've enhanced it to make it stereo with the technology it had in 1968 when this came out. Now, this album shows more influence of Sgt. Pepper than the other one. It came out like a year after Sgt. Pepper in 1968. And it especially shows influence from songs like Strawberry Fields Forever, She's Leaving Home, Mr. Kite, A Day in the Life, that kind of influence. So, second song is Translucent Carriages, which is co-written by Wayne Harley and Tom Rapp. Then Images of April. Then There Was a Man. And I Saw the World. And the side ends with Guardian Angels. So, all those songs besides the first one were written completely by Tom Rapp. And so the second side begins with a Leonard Cohen song that was originally sung by Judy Collins, but I know it from this album, so when I hear her singing it, I'm like, wow, they're singing a Pearls Before Swine song, but no, she did it first. That is Suzanne. Now this is followed by a Tom Rapp song, Leapers and Roses, Lappers and Roses. And after that is a little short thing by Florence Nightingale. And then comes one co-written by J.R. Tolkien and Tom Rapp, Ring Thing, which is the words to the poem about the Rings of Power, set to music by Tom Rapp. And apparently some CD versions have a version that's a minute shorter than the version that's on my album here. So I feel sorry for you to get that on CD and get that. But yeah, if I can find, you want the Drag City label version of the CD if you want the whole song. And even though it's labeled as a separate song, the last minute of it, called Rewind. Anyway, this is my favorite Pearls Before Swine song. Really like it a lot. To some extent, all the songs sound alike, but on the other hand, they all sound completely different. I credit that to the fact that there's one songwriter and singer for most of them, so that would make them tend to sound very similar. It sounds very drug influenced, but he claims that there were no drugs involved in writing this, that other than Winston cigarettes. So This is a Winston cigarette-induced hallucination. Anyway, it's a really good album. You should check it out. One of my favorites.